Hi, today I want to talk with you about miracles and about cultivating what I call a miracle rich environment. A few years ago, I was accepted by the top commercial talent agent in Hollywood with no previous experience and no connections in Hollywood or anything as accepted. He started booking me as a talent. I see this as a miracle. I mean, so many people come to Hollywood looking for an agent and they can't ever get one. I get one just instantly. And then 2 years ago, I had the top strabismus. It's an eye doctor, but I had the top strabismus surgeon in the country gift me with a free surgery that corrected my lazy eye. Again, that's another miracle. When I experience these extraordinary events, I'm always full of wonder. And during the last few years, I've seen these miracles just increase exponentially in my life. And I really started to look at the reasons why. Why is it that I'm being blessed with so many of these miracles? And here's what I've discovered. The more I expect miracles to occur, the more they occur. But I've also found that it's not the expectation that brings about the miracles, it's the actions that follow. And more than that, it's the mindset that accompanies the action. And I'm going to explain that here in this little video. See, by expecting miracles and acting on those expectations, while at the same time not being connected to the outcomes of the actions themselves. That's really key. You don't want to be connected to the outcomes. You don't want to be vested in that. You don't want to live there. Oh, I hope it's going to happen or all that. You get out of all that. But when you're not connected with the outcomes of the actions, that's the magic formula for bringing about miracles. And this principle of detachment, it's nothing new. In fact, many thousands of years ago, it was written about in the Bhagavad Gita. They said that when we detach ourselves from the fruits of our action, contentment comes. And of course, contentment is the source through which we become free. See, it's incredible. This is a very old, ancient philosophy that I've only become familiar with. But about 100 years ago, or I guess over 100 years ago now, Rudyard Kipling wrote about in his amazing poem, If. You probably remember that poem from school. But because it's so old and it was written so long ago, I've updated a few words. But I'd like you to listen to the poem here for this spiritual principle of detachment. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, and if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about and not deal in lies, or being hated and not give way to hating, yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by scoundrels to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it at one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings and not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, the game of life you have already won. Isn't that amazing advice? To meet with these things that our culture calls triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. See, that's the fertile ground where miracles are born. That's where miracles spring from. And when you expect miracles and move toward miracles and find yourself being satisfied in the doing with no attachment to the result, just in the moment, when you're living in and you're content in the moment, regardless of what it contains, that's when miracles flow into your life. Or they don't. And either is okay, but it's living in that fertile place, the present, that allows miracles to flourish. Another personal example of what I'm calling a miracle here happened last year when I became eligible to join the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, with only a few months. I mean, I just started acting and I was invited to join the union. I had qualified to join the union. Many actors go years, decades without earning eligibility. To me, it was a miracle to be able to get there so quickly. Another, even more recent example was when I was selected to be the exclusive national spokesperson for Hello Santa. This is the first video chat with Santa app on iPhones and iPads and all that. And I was given an equity position in the company, and then when we sold the company earlier this year to the big internet media company JibJab, I was then retained by JibJab to continue on as a spokesperson, and I even had my role expanded. I mean, it's amazing. I love it. I mean, I can go on, but the message here is that miracles really can and do flood into your life, and you can really start cultivating a miracle-rich environment. It's when you dream and you don't make dreams your master, and when you can think and not make thoughts your aim, when neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you. This is where miracles flourish. I have one final example of exponential miracles. Here are 3 that happened to me this last week. I mean, even I was blown away by this. I'm currently in Southern California, and last week I was down at the beach with a couple of friends. We were walking along the Strand in Hermosa Beach, and out of the blue, I was stopped by Russ Weiner, the founder of Rockstar Energy Drink. I mean, he just stopped me walking down the Strand, and we took some photos together, and we had a few laughs. And just today, I received a Facebook message from Rockstar saying that they would probably use some of my photos and would like to talk to me as we get closer to Christmas. That's pretty cool. And then later that same evening, my friends and I, we walk over to this little funky beach pub. And on the way out, after we eat dinner, I was stopped by who turned out to be the director of the TV show Jimmy Kimmel Live. And we took some photos together and exchanged cards, and he's sent me an email and asked me if I would want to make some TV with him. Of course, I would love to do that. I mean, what an incredible blessing. And again, I was just leaving a restaurant after dinner. But here's the one that is really so weird. I mean, I was just kind of blown away by this. I drove home, parked the car out on the street, got out of the car, small little residential, quiet neighborhood. And as I'm closing my car door, a car comes down the street and slows down right beside me. And the guy looks over at me and said, "Do you portray Santa Claus?" And I smiled and said, "Yeah, that I do." He introduced himself as a photographer and said he would like to take some photos with me in his studio. And he handed me a business card and asked if I had one, so I handed him one of mine. And he drove off and I went in the house. I really didn't think much of it. I set his card on my desk and pretty much forgot about it. Then a couple of days later, I see it beside my computer and I decide to check out his website. And I get there and it's a nice site. And I look at his work and I go, wow, the guy does really some excellent work, wedding photography, that kind of thing. So I completed the little form, on his site, and I just said, "Hi, I'm the Santa that you approached on the street, and I think you do great work." And I also said, I think you might be interested in this photographer that I happen to know on the East Coast. He's absolutely amazing photographer and artist, and I've wanted to work with this guy for years. He really does fantastic work. Anyway, so I sent a link over to this guy through this little web form. And within an hour, I get this email back that says, "Oh, Santa, I'm just so amazed and so happy that you know that photographer on the East Coast. I just spent a week there. He was teaching me how to create a studio like his and how to do what he does. And I've created it all right here in Southern California. And anyway, amazing. So this guy, this East Coast photographer that I've wanted to work with for years, just trained this guy who's right down the street from where I'm staying. And he's replicating exactly what this guy on the East Coast is doing within a few miles of where I am here. See, to me, it's like, how does that happen? How can those things, even begin to occur? And, people out there saying, yeah, it's just a bunch of coincidences or whatever. Hey, maybe it is. I don't know. Or maybe they're miracles. And here's my advice. Boldly do what you do without attachment to your outcome and expect miracles to come your way. I know they will. They've flooded into my life. And I just want to wish you all the best in everything you do and in all the lives that you touch. So I hope that we get a chance to talk soon. Take care.